a minute left to ads, but I just wanted to switch over and not like sit. You know, I'm afraid where I put my mic, I'm just gonna keep bumping my forehead into it. My forehead. I tell my mom about ya. I'ma tell her. Da 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 da. Do 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 dee. I'm genuinely like, I don't know what I want to work on. Let's go back to this. Might need to bring up a clothing reference. Hmm. Or should I just go? Actually, wait. Technically, what I'm mimicking. Yeah. I think that'll be okay for now. It's fine. It's cool. You can say that we were nothing, but I know that you know the truth. Let's see. I have. I'm gonna figure out what some of these layers are. Okay, no. No. Okay, yeah, that's just the different attempts at line art and stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna put some of this in a folder. That's definitely how you spell that word. Yep. Okay. Usually I do line art in a. Hold on a second. Okay. Usually I do line art in a vector layer, but what if I challenge myself to not do that? I'm trying to look for personality in my line art. I don't know what that means, but you know. Okay, that's not opaque enough. Nah. Eh. Use more stabilization, maybe? There we go. Okay, I think I like this brush. Let's see if that's still the same opinion in like an hour. Wake me up before you go. Hi Flash, how you doing? Did you have a good nap? I have to laugh. I just opened Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, let me post my story that I'm live. And like the Twitch story, like the camera automatically faces you and my pings are like all crazy. I'm like, whoa. Twitch that. Okay. Oh, with kitty cuddles. That's always good. I almost forgot to give my PNG tuber her tablet. Would have been a crime. IHK. Thanks for having a cookie. Yeah, I finally got the email last night at like midnight that it was approved. I was like, damn, it's taking a long time. No touch. Yes, I use a drawing tablet. I do really like mine. I have the XP Pen Artist 22 Plus. I also have the name of it just down below in my panels. In case you need to ever go back and look at that. I do really like this tablet. So before I had this tablet, I only got this tablet like just last year after getting back into drawing again. I had a Wacom Intuos pen and touch medium, but like the older model, and that had no screen. It had, what did they have? Like 2048 or something pen pressure levels. This has like 16,000. Yeah, it's basically an entire monitor. I use it as a third monitor as well. But like I immediately noticed the difference. The first, like even just I'm like, okay, let me open a program and use a brush, and I was like, oh, wow. But XP Pen's good for like quality tablets at a more affordable price than Wacom. Same with Huion. It's spelled Huion. I think the only thing that I see more commonly with the Huion tablets is like driver issues sometimes. Uh, so that's kind of why I lean towards XP Pen. But Huion and XP Pen are probably the most common these days outside of Wacom tablets that people use. You know what's funny is because I use this as third monitor, I'm like, I don't know if I could imagine streaming with only two monitors. I'll like keep my Firebot and stream the stream manager on like one monitor, and then OBS and like my sound on the other. Yeah, I watch Kumi and she uses like kind of like a vertical portable monitor for her chat. And it's like now that I stream, I'm like, yeah, that's smart. She's smart for that. Ugh, I don't like how that came out. Okay, yeah, let's like keep the other one kind of in view while I work on this one. Oh yeah, so I don't know if you saw in Zero's Discord earlier how I posted that excuse me, my throat just went a little crackly there. Um how I was like, ah yes, my grandpa's old computer does have a 1 terabyte hard drive, so I took that out. Uh and then like my dad had come home just as I was putting the my grandpa's PC back at the basement because that's where it is. We kind of just have it in a garbage bag on a shelf. Um And so I'm telling him all this stuff, and he's like so impressed. He's like, "Oh my god, you're so smart. You should get a job doing this." And it's like those. I mean, from like learning about stuff just because I want to get a new case. That's kind of like led me to just learn about more stuff about computers. Because I was more of a like I'm intuitive with technology person, but don't ask me about the parts. And now I'm gaining more understanding of the parts. Don't work in IT, trust me. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't want to work in IT. Because like here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's definitely something where I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. I don't want to. I don't want because like my friend Amanda, um, she works in IT and it's like she literally has had that moment of like someone's like, my computer doesn't work. They haven't turned on the power button. And I'm like, I don't know if I could deal with that. Yeah, I think it's dealing with people. I would just be like, oh. I mean, like if I could have a job building PCs, that'd be cool if I like learned more about it. But also that's kind of hard to get off the ground. And right now, because of AI, the RAM prices and the GPU prices and the fucking SSD prices, man. Like I love tech, I just don't know if I could ever have an IT job. Also, I wonder how much like I mean, Flash from how you're talking, I can tell it's like not always the most fun job, but now imagine me as a woman doing the same job. There's definitely got to be some guys out there that are like, there's a woman, would you fixing my computer? Woman, you're a woman, you don't know anything, you're a stupid woman. Hmm, damn. '07 Flash. I salute you. That does not look good. Oh, wow. The kid in high school who would bring in laptops to fix for a price. That's funny. You know, something I find annoying at my mom's job, they like outsource the IT department and it's like, why? I mean, probably money, I don't know. But here's the thing. She works for our region's electrical company, like that applies her electricity. I feel like that's not really the you want to outsource IT for the electrical company? I know it's like electricity and like computers are different things, but still, it's like seems silly. That's how you lost my last one with the experience of the early thousands. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not employed by them, so I can talk shit about my mom's company. It really everything went wrong when they merged with another company, and then that company took over, and then yeah, that's the shit I have to talk. Yeah, it's crazy that it, it's like why? Mm, no, be passionate. I love passion. Oh my god, I remember. So what was it? 2024. The day we had that like, was it nationwide or was it like all over the world? But it was like that. What fucked up everything? Well, basically, if you were on a computer, eh, oh my god, it had to do with something with systems. You couldn't get. Oh my god, what was it? Anyways, I called my mom because it was a Friday. While I was at this convention because my friend Mark was telling me about it. Mark is the same person that spec'd out my PC, right? And I was like, "Hey, how's work? Do you have the blue screen of death?" Like, and she did in fact have the blue screen of death. That's basically what was happening to like computers everywhere. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I was like, I forget the name of the issue, but it affected a lot of things, and I think that's what grounded a bunch of airplanes, if I remember correctly. I'm like, or was that a different situation? You got woken up at 4 a.m. Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, I was so like I said, I was at a convention at that time, and Kineticon is pretty like very multi-genre convention. We have a furry like niche in there. there's a furry parade every Saturday. So I was just thinking about, I'm like, oh my god, all the furries here, like, this is their job, and they're basically on vacation. I mean, it was a Friday, but it was like, oh my god, do you think they're getting called or something? Furries, help us! They, oh my god, I never really keep up with the news or anything during the day, and I just remember being on a call with someone and they kept saying blue screen. Good thing you aren't blue screened. Hopefully we won't be blue screened. Just nonstop through the call. I had no clue what was going on until you got done with work. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so the hotel we stay at also has like a Starbucks like connected to the lobby. So I think that meant like Starbucks couldn't take like orders via card. Yeah, that CrowdStrike thing. Also, I know that like, oh my god, SSDs are faster and whatever, but I just added a 1 TB hard drive to my computer. So it's kind of like one of those things where I'm like, yay, more space, but I know it's not like the faster one, but also the faster one is expensive right now. But yeah, I have like a 1 TB SSD and then a 2 TB regular hard drive, and then I just took out the 1 TB hard drive from my grandpa's old PC that was barely used except by me before I got this computer. Spinny Rust is good for long-term storage, okay. The thing is, I'm like, okay, my understanding is put games on the SSD, especially if it's like a game I want to stream. Everything else can go on the regular hard drive. I don't care. And my dad was like, "You really need that?" I'm like, "Not yet, like the extra terabyte of the hard drive." But I'm like, but it's also like some games are fucking beefy nowadays. Like I have a couple sitting in my library that are like 90 gigabytes, and I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." I haven't even installed them, and I'm just like, it's like when I want to play these games, I will install them, but right now they're just remaining in the library. Don't run an OS on a spinny drive now, and you will just sit there and question why things are so slow. Also, my like sort of disappointment when I like opened my grandpa's PC and it's like, oh man, there's only one RAM. And then I looked it up and I'm like, damn, it's only DDR3. Because it's from 2015. Let's see, when did DDR4 come out? Let me look that up. Oh, okay, so it had only just released in 2014. Also, I'm kind of like a little like salty, a little mad that I'm like, oh, now I'm finally getting into like PC building stuff. But well, for one thing, my PC is for the most part fine. But like, I'm like, I can't. I can't do a lot of cool stuff because everything's all the parts that basic the not cosmetic parts are like priced out right now. The SSDs, the RAM, the GPUs. The GPU is probably the only thing I'm gonna really like one day like be like, okay, I have to upgrade this, but mine works for now. But it's like I'll hear someone talk about like, oh yeah, the 50 blah blah blah, like this will be good if you're doing like 3D modeling or rendering, and I'm like, crap. Because even though you see me as a drawing right now, I do like to dabble into other things. But I mean, I made the Blender donut on this GPU, so I don't know if that's a good sign. Like, it's okay. Like, 5 drives, 1 HDD, 1 TB, 2 old SSDs, 500 GB and 60 GB. Yes, 60. And 2 M.2 drives, 1 TB. Okay, so even though I want to get a new case, right? I notice on the case that I have, on the back of the panel, I guess I would call it, yeah, panel, that the motherboard is on, um, there is 2 spaces where you could put a 2.5-inch SSD, and I'm like, you know what? I should maybe consider that about, you know, when I'm looking at cases, because I'm like, oh no, yeah, I want the pink height wise 70 case, but it does only have 2 like hard drive bays, and I'm like, And it's like either if I would have to like, yeah, I'd probably have to figure out. I'm like, well, if I want more than 2 of that type of drive, like some sort of like adapter or something, I can like install in the case. Or do I just be like, no, let me get a white case? Because then with a white case, I have like more options that are still good quality. And I'm like, would pink case be too much pink? Because my desk is pink, and a lot of my peripherals are pink. Uh, my keyboard, my microphone arm. Trying to think. Like I do love the color pink, but it's like, oh, do I actually just change it up and make the case white in this way? I could still do like I could make the lights on the fans in the case pink to give it more of a pink subtleness. Also, even though I'm not currently in the market for a new GPU yet, there's GPUs like the Yeston Sakura GPUs, and like those are cute. And they're usually like right now the ones they have, they're kind of like white with like pastel blue and purple, and I feel like that would be good against a white case more than maybe a pink case. It's like those little things to have in mind. Let's see. Trust that most modern motherboards have 1 to 4 M.2 S style SSD drives on them. So 2 hard drive bays is pretty standard now. Okay. Yeah, I did actually like, now that I've been learning about like, oh, okay, this is what this is, blah blah blah. I realized I have like 3 M.2 SSD drives on my current motherboard. So I'm like, oh, not bad. So that's something I just will have to keep an eye on, hoping the AI bubble pops kind of thing. Yeah, it's funny when I'm watching a video about PC building and it's like, "Oh yeah, go to your, like, local micro center," and I'm like, "My local micro center is 3 hours away." It's probably the same micro center that Loki would go to, let's put it that way. I would have to go to New York. Yeah. Actually, I, like, looked at it on a map last night, and I'm like, "Oh, wait, this is actually kind of." 'Cause here's the thing, I can drive to a train station that does go to Grand Central Station, but the Micro Center is in Yonkers, New York, which I found really funny, just the name Yonkers. But I looked on the map and I'm like, technically that's all it's like the New York City area, but it's north, so I'm like, maybe that's more realistic to drive into. Whereas if I had to go like through New York City, then at that point I'd be like commute through the train. 'Cause I wasn't sure if it was something like within New York City, but it seems to be more like semi north of it. Also, like maybe the other week I think it was, I was like, well, let me just like look up PC stores near my area. There's some brick and mortar ones. And there's also one that specializes in audio stuff, and I'm like, I wonder if they would take my dad's speakers that he's like from his grandpa's house that they're like good. They just sat for years, but he doesn't know what to do with them. Like they're just in storage. The worst thing is that they're filled with dust. Yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm still kind of learning because, like, the other night I was just watching a video on someone doing one of their PC builds, and it's like she kind of has like a notes like area of the video, and she's like, make sure your CPU and your can handle your GPU or else you'll like bottleneck. And I'm like, oh, that's what bottlenecking is. But also, I'm like, oh, I better think about that when I do want to upgrade my GPU. And I also, in looking things up, because I'm like, okay, new case, I should get like a new cooler, CPU cooler. And it's like, oh, you have to make sure it's compatible with your CPU. That was a whole nother thing. But I like, I kind of was down to like a couple, and I was like, let me just message Mark because he's the one that helps me out with this. And I was like, okay, what do you think? And we both kind of agreed on the Be Quiet light loop. The nice thing about the Be Quiet, other than reviews saying that it is in fact quiet, is that you can service it yourself. Ooh, a case that was released in 2012, but in 2018 they released a revision that matches up with a lot of modern case standards. That's pretty cool. But yeah, now my brain's going back to like the fact that you said like, oh, like the two bays is standard now. So maybe getting a height Y70 wouldn't be the worst if it only has two bays anyways. If my, you know, m- current motherboard has like three M.2 drives or slots, you know what I mean. Master Cooler Trooper case. Oh, you know what's funny? Um, in in my grandpa's old compu old yeah, old. I mean, yeah, now it's like over 10 years old now. In the computer, it had like a Cooler Master. I'm guessing that was the CPU cooler. I just remember peeking through the like holes in the case, and I was like, "Hey, Cooler Master." Yeah, right now my AIO is just a Cooler Master. But yeah, I definitely have like size of case in mind when I'm looking at cases, because I'm like, one day I'm gonna want one of those three. Like, I forget the actual size of them. I just call them 3-fan GPUs, or at least a 2-fan. 'Cause actually, technically, mine currently is only 1 fan. She's small. She's good, but she's small. But I mean, a 3-fan GPU probably would fit my current case if I got one like tomorrow for some reason, before I got a new case. But But yeah, at least a case and a cooler and some fans. It's a more realistic thing to save up for right now than a GPU. Or I've actually been like going on Amazon and just looking at hard drives and then like clicking price history just to be like, is it dropping yet? Is it dropping yet? Are they dropping yet? So I noticed like 4 TB regular hard drives have gone back to normal in price. Um, I feel like higher capacity ones, they're still more up in price, and then SSDs obviously still up in price. Like if anything, I'm like, I wish there was just like a website or a program that somebody like set up that just like tracks these prices so I can just like look. I just want to keep an eye on like the trends. And like I'm hyper fixated on this now. When will they drop? Like Like, I can accept that GPUs might be up there in price for a while. It's fine, I don't need to upgrade it right now. More of like, come on. Just let the hard drive prices drop, please. Come on. This is ridiculous. I'm probably more accepting of GPUs being like overpriced right now because we've been through that before. But ooh. Okay, that's a cool looking case. Man, RIP EVGA. Ooh. The logo on the cooler spins. Yeah, I need to gain more of an understanding of like GPUs because I'm like, okay, I have the base understanding of how the NVIDIA ones work. I have like a 3060. Um, More so in the terms of like their generations. Newer generations are supposed to be better, supposed to be, but you really got to know what you're getting. Whereas I'm like, okay, what what is what are the levels of AMD ones like? Yeah. Also, I've learned that I have because I have like 12 gigabytes of VRAM in my GPU. I'm like, okay, that's also really good because some of the like I want to say like the 5060, I don't really see it with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It's only 8 gigabytes. I'm like, ew. Like you just gotta like kind of know what you're getting. So even just going off of that, I'm just like, okay, I will not get another GPU that is below 12 gigabytes of VRAM. But I would like to know more about like, okay, like, well, what's the difference between like this and some AMD models? What if I just switched over to an AMD GPU at some point? And then Intel makes their own. Like I watched a video from Gamers Nexus about the Intel Arc like manufacturing factory warehouse where they make the Sparkle model. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I know they're newer to the game, but like I like that they kind of were willing to be open about like the process. Makes them a little bit more trustable by consumers. Like that would make me like that made me. I'm like, maybe like I would consider an Intel GPU, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I mean, that's probably the best bet right now if you're like making a whole new PC and you are doing it on a budget. Probably an Intel GPU. Yeah, 40 series is yeah, if you kind of like yeah, I'm like, oh, like if I could get a deal on something, yeah, it would probably be like I feel like 4070 or 4070 Ti would probably be good. Or maybe I'm thinking that just because that's what I see most commonly. So my brain's like, you need to get a 4070 Ti, but it probably doesn't really matter if it's like a 4070 or a 4080. Actually, I think equivalence wise, I think a good upgrade from my 3060 would probably be a 4060 or 4070. Yeah, 4070. Okay, that's what I thought. My intuition was correct on that. But I'm not shopping for one right now because, prices, money. This is outside of like commissions, streaming is like my only other source of income. So yeah, because I remember when I told my specs to Danny, she was like, "Oh, you have a really good build. The only thing is that like the 3060 might start out showing its age soon." Because yeah, the way my PC, like, so my friend spec'd out my PC, but we did it through cyber power PCs, so it's still in a way pre-built, but like you pick the parts essentially. They just build it for you. Mm. Hopeful for the 60 series of cards for Nvidia, they finally pull their head out of their asses, but I'm not blindly hopeful. Yeah. Because I've been yapping while I've been drawing, like my drawing has just been like a stream of consciousness. I feel like I'm not overthinking it as much. I let Clip Studio possess my body or whatever that meme is. Also, I'm having fun with this like textured pen. Also, fun fact with when it comes to like the maybe possibly one advantage of having an RTX, NVIDIA RTX GPU is that now, or well, okay, so within VTube Studio, there is you can do face tracking with a webcam. There is also a way you could do it while it does something with the RTX that makes it work better. But on top of that, I think last year maybe I've watched videos on this. VBridger has also added support for webcams, and so it's like if you have the combination of like the RTX thing and then you use VBridger, it's nearly very similar quality to like the iPhone tracking. I might play around with that before I actually use my phone for face tracking because I do have an iPhone. I could just use my iPhone, but we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I've watched videos of people, like, comparing the 2, and I'm like, "Okay, actually, using VBridger with the, like, RTX face tracking, it's not bad." Because otherwise, sometimes webcam tracking could be, pretty stiff. Yeah, I would just, like, look up videos on, like, VTubing with, like, a webcam. Because that's how I found out, like, going down that rabbit hole. So it's like, oh, if you already have an RTX GPU, you have like a little bit of an advantage. Mm. Oh, dogs are barking. Oh, I love how with the computer talk, my brain is just going back to cases. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should get a white case. I mean, even if I still stick with like the height Y70, I mean, it might look nice to just like whatever I can put in there that's a little colorful. And then obviously with the RGB lights, it's like, whereas aesthetically, I might have to worry about like what complements the specific shade of the height Y70 pink. And also, like I said, I have pink peripherals. We're dealing with a lot of pinks. Maybe I need a break. I do have a white mouse. A white mouse that is slightly stained on the sides with hair dye. That makes me consider getting another different white mouse that is maybe made with different material on the sides. So it doesn't get stained by hair dye. So yeah, I have like a hair appointment tomorrow, and like in between like the bleaching and then the coloring of my bangs, we just usually do touch-ups. I'm gonna be like, don't even do a touch-up. This color is still bleeding, and I want to change my color next time anyways. Yeah, I have the Razor Basilisks V3 in white, and the thing is with the material on the sides, it's like this kind of like grippy material that's not the same smooth plastic as the rest of the mouse, and no matter what I have done so far, the blushing of it from my hair dye has not come off, so I'm like, ooh. It is a wired model, so it's not necessarily expensive. Because my mom was like, oh, that wasn't that much money. Like, I'll get you a new one. But I'm like, oh, let me think about it. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's more of like I think of the future and the different hair colors, and when the hair color is fresh, it that's usually when it bleeds. So I'm like, do I want to have an amalgamation of different stains on this potentially on the side of my mouse that I cannot get off? The only other thing that I think could maybe get it off is just a tiny touch of bleach, literally. Because I was like, what if I just like rub some conditioner on there? Nope. Didn't come up with rubbing alcohol, except for on the like actual smooth plastic parts. So I'm just like, crap. Or I accept that it wants to be colorful. Nobody else sees it. My mouse. Or I could just get really into collecting different mice and switching them out every so often. Oh, phone call. I was like, why is the lines getting like gray? And it's like, oh wait, I hit the other color instead of the transparent thingamajiggy. I don't know if I like that better or just using the eraser. Hmm. Oh. I let myself think, and now I'm like, oh, do I actually hate this line art? Oops. You know what? I'm gonna force myself to finish it. Like, do the close. And it's literally my drawing of my character, so if I just want to redo the line art with a different pen or pencil, I can. Just had to take a second to close the curtains and stuff. I'm back. You know, now that I actively use my YouTube actively use my YouTube music for stream, especially art streaming. Wonder what my recap at the end of the year is gonna be. I like barely use my Apple Music or YouTube Music. Like I just barely listened to like music last year, which is surprising. So there wasn't like I felt like my recaps weren't like fully representative of my taste. And it's like I kind of just like if I like a song, it replays inside my head. And sadly that does not count towards streaming. Sadly, the artists I like don't get revenue from my brain. It probably sounds silly to have both Apple Music and YouTube music, but I have YouTube Premium, so therefore I have YouTube Music. My mom helped me pay for YouTube Premium back when it was like YouTube Red, and like she's like fine with that still. So, but I what is it? I pay for Apple Music and she pays for the iCloud storage, or is it the other way around? I forget. It's one of those two. We have family sharing. Whatever. I pay for something. So I used to actually get like really anxiety ridden from like ads for horror movies, and that's why I got YouTube Red, now Premium. Now I don't mind horror, but I've I had it already. I don't want to get rid of it. No ads. Yeah, I mean, if like honestly, if I could afford Turbo, I'd probably get Turbo. Yeah, yeah. And the nice thing is, your streamers still get revenue. It I don't know how they do it, but even though like when ads run, your view still counts as like a ad watch, even though you're not getting an ad. Like in my creator dashboard, there's literally a thing with the analytics. Like they're gonna be adding a thing to the graph soon to better like represent the Twitch Turbo revenue. That's pretty cool. They have different parts of like this like graph that it's like, okay, this is the revenue you're getting from this. This is like this you're getting from that and that and this and that and that and the other thing. Just different colors. Yeah, everyone gets that revenue like you do watch ads. Except you have Twitch Turbo and you're subscribed to me, so I wonder if that like ad revenue thing is like taken out. Because it's like, well, you're subscribed, so I get your subscriber money instead. Or if it's still like, oh, well, you have Twitch Turbo, and even though you're subscribed to this person, we're still going to give them the ad revenue. I wonder how that works. Also, because I do what is it, the 3-minute ads once an hour, that's like also kind of how you get not only the no pre-rolls, but the highest revenue cut from ads. So it's like 55% instead of like, I think before that it was like 20 or 30% of a cut. Both are beneficial ad revenue. One is sub is considered separate support directly for. Okay, interesting. Yay, I get both. Streamer gets both. Ugh. Eh, meh. Didn't like that puff as much. Hmm. I mean, without adding the frilly, lacy bits, do I still? It's like, oh, look at me! I just did this whole line art with this one thing, but a part of me is like, I want to redraw this again with the SU cream pencil. I just want to see how it looks. My art. I can do what I want. Maybe I'll like make this really light. Also, maybe lighten this a little bit. just I'm like, wait. Let me do it in this other one. Like I just want to see. I do really like the SU cream pencil. Ooh. Okay, let's try it with like a thinner brush or thinner thickness, whatever. Mm. Passion, word, and love dares you to care for the people on the edge of the night. And of care dares you to change our way of caring about ourselves. This is chance. This is our last dance. This is ourselves under pressure. Artist make a decision challenge. Impossible. What if I do it even thinner? Actually, let me hide that layer. Oh, I actually have the stabilization way down on this. Hold on. Ooh, I think I like the SU cream pencil a bit better. Even though I just did that whole thing in a different pen. Oh no. Who wants to see me draw the same thing all over again? Ah, I don't know why I ever left you SU cream pencil. Yeah, I like that stream where Jenna drew the same thing over for a long time. Again. I just thought of, we're back in the fucking building! I'm back in the fucking building again! You know, when I told my mom, I took the hard drive over out of my grandpa's old PC, she's like, That's safe. Like, mostly in the thing of like, what if it has a virus on it? I'm like, it better not. I was using it. Like, because that's the computer I was using before this computer. So I'm like, it better not. I literally have like panic dreams about like my computer getting a virus. Where like a bunch of windows are opening out of nowhere and I'm like I mean that shows what I don't know about computers. I was looking up, I'm like, how do you can can how do you like I was like, I'm gonna how do I make sure my hard drive doesn't have a virus? Like, I think it was more about external hard drives. I'm like, well, this technically isn't an external hard drive, but like, uh, used hard drive? Hmm. But from what I understand, it's kind of like run malware bytes on it or something. Just scan it with your antivirus. I don't know, I might look more into it just to be safe. Or what I could do is put it back in my grandpa's computer, bring that all the way up to my room. Just plug it in, turn it on, make sure everything looks okay. I don't. It shouldn't. I didn't do anything suspicious on there. Sometimes I even get nervous if I click on something that's like semi-suspicious. I'm like, what if that gave my computer malware? Like I remember Googling something and I'm like, wait a second. The website attached to this result does not look right. I should not click that. Okay, so the dogs were barking a bunch because my mom just came home, right? And with my headphones, they have a feature when I turn them on, uh, to hear some ambient sound, and that helps me kind of like semi-monitor my voice, and it's not as like, what's the word I'm looking for? If I use my XLR mixer, it's like more distracting if I use that monitoring through that, because you hear more like background noise. The thing is, when Coda barks really loud in my room, it like I can hear the ambient thing in my headphones like turn itself off because it's like that's too loud. Stop it. Hi, Nick. How you doing? Oh wait, I want to do that on a different layer.
Did you eat anything yet?
Ah, so you had some lettuce.
Huh?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
No, my mom was just in here trying to figure out what we want for dinner. And she was just like staring at my OBS on one of my other monitors, and she was just like, I'm just watching how that works. Wait, no. Oh, well, thank morning. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you for stopping by. I get in and out of being yappy. Oh no, I'm stuck with him. You're stuck with me! No, I don't like that. Okay, yeah, that's about right. Hmm. Okay, those are like more pleated. Wait, no. I can't understand what makes a man hate another man. Help me understand. Okay. Hmm. Just one line, but it perplexes me. Okay, I think that's good enough. Stretch. Stretch the orbs. Sip of the water. Stare at the drawing. Whoops. No, I did not want to open the Microsoft Store, thank you. I should probably just remove that from my taskbar. Yeah, I think I like the SU cream pencil better. Oh, what was your favorite stream? Oh, the one where Jenna redrew the line art twice. She spent time on line art for a really long time. What was that? I heard something. I don't know, something fell. Guys, there's a bear in my room. Name is Coda. I don't want to work on the details. Hmm. Nope. Mm. I'm in a prison of my own design. I mean, the bows don't have to have fancy lace on them. Unless I just come back to that later. Hmm. I'm like at a point where I'm like, okay, I like how this is coming out so far, but I want to take a break. So now I don't know what to do with myself. I might just have to call it here. Hmm. Excuse me. Hmm. Do, 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 do. I'm just looking at who's alive, who I want to read out to. Yeah, I should probably end it here. I've like reached a point with my art where I want to take a break, and I'm hungry. We gotta figure out dinner. I kinda want to raid into Alkovic because she's playing Hellmart, and that seems it's a spooky game, but it also seems just fun to watch. So I think I'll do that. Oh, hi, Itchy. I just looked over at my mixer. I'm like, my mic's not muted, right? I haven't been like blah 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 to no one. If you're just watching like a dull like pause screen. So yeah, I think I'll just end it here. The stream. I mean, just the stream. uh, I was like yappy for the first half and then just like in the zone for the second half. But thank you all for sticking around. See you all in the next one, I guess. All my streams are just like for the moment unplanned. So I don't know if next stream will be an art stream or a gaming stream, if I will try something new, if I'll go back to Infinity Nikki or Minecraft or something else. I don't know if my next stream will be tomorrow. Depends on how I feel after like my haircut and stuff, you know. But I like doing this. Even if sometimes I'm like in the zone and not talking. Um but I have this like itch to like, okay, let me try something else. Let me try a different game. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I'll see you on the next one. We're gonna raid Miss Alkovic, who is also a vampire. She's a blood alchemist vampire VTuber, and she's playing Hellmart right now. And I like collecting other vampire and VTubers because I'm a vampire. And there's the raid message. Use the first one if you don't have a sub, but use the second one if you do, or you could do whatever you want. I will see you all in the next one, and I hope you have a good time zone wherever you are. Raid at Alkovic. Copy. No, no, I want to. No, copy. No, 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 I just want to copy. I just want to copy the username. No. Jesus fucking Christ. Come on, come on. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to click it. I want to. No. Streamer struggles for like 10 seconds. Trying to raid someone. Okay, there we go. Okay, I will see you all another time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.